Jeffrey is a California state trooper. This is Stone Cold's Mean Street Fiction. I always tell you where my Mean Street Fiction ends when it affects your family. Call 424-229-4140 from all military bases. Tell your friends, tell your family. Do that World Trade Center Flight 93 check call. Make that simplified video of that hijack call in front of the mayor, governor, reporters, network news anchors, local, state, federal officials, and politicians running for office on down, presidency on down. Anyway, this is Stone Cold's Mean Street Fiction. I get to have a little fun. I just had Laurie interrupt my meal, a place where they don't feed me. I have to roll. In a wheelchair. Takes a lot of my energy to roll, go get my food, and yeah, I just had someone interrupt my meal and be taunting at the same time, in that personal knife in the back from Louisiana kind of way. So Jeffrey is bitching up a storm. He's been with a rich impersonator, Chinese misfit impersonator. That's what I call him. This is my Stone Cold Fiction. You don't get it, you don't get it, but they got a whole lot of folks set up to introduce you to a scrawny little impersonator and include cops, military, and the such to give it validity on the streets, or at least waste the real folks of the streets of import, those movers and shakers' time. Anyway, Jeffrey has been part of bullshit. He's brought to this place. I call it Linwood, I call it Lauriewood, I call it Shitwood. I call it the street's biggest mistake in a while. Amateurs of the street's biggest mistake. Accelerating their trip to hell on earth as whispered death examples for a long time. But Jeffrey's been making money, and part of many by Chinese misfit, a group of folks. I mean, they got a whole lot of folks being each and every one of them. Me, I'm one and only, always have been. That's why I say take all. Not in this bed that's way too small. Not in this chair. Not behind these DVDs with one and only's imagery. And hanging by those egos of steel, they gotta have them volunteering for the best health care plan around, just no pain meds. For that Obama century side of beef and other sides of beef century style stuff. And yeah, it's come time to move Jeffrey along. Don't worry, they got plenty of replacements for Jeffrey to do his real job, not his moonlighting job. Plenty of replacements. And Jeffrey's folks, all those who look like Jeffrey, all those who are with Jeffrey, are in for that ride. And he made a mistake at where the one and only must live until someone walks through, sees enough of those military pitbull project icebreaker parades of Jeffrey's, and walks through. He has gone there personally to volunteer, and John, military pitbull project, street justice guy, takes Jeffrey to where his impersonator is in a mansion. It's not like his last trip there. Jeffrey's last trip to that mansion with impersonators and all that. He goes in that front door, and there's some Chinese misfits. They didn't think they'd ever be hanging with Jeffrey's impersonator. And that's who's hanging right in front of him. By the balls of steel got him in trouble. Being in the way of Jesus' house. Being in the way of the Christ complex worldwide. They're hanging right there in that big central foyer, whatever they call it. Not in a good way either, yelling and screaming, and John tells Jeffrey, Yeah, that disrespect of yours just now. See that hook next to that Chinese guy and that little scrawny fella? That's yours. And he's got guys there to do that. Jeffrey's not that important. He plenty of replacements. And he's going to be sending a message to others in his shoes. A whole bunch of clone stamp, I don't know, a whole bunch of different just like them sets across California, across America, in the way of Jesus' house, in the way of the Christ complex, in the way up the top of the streets. Let's just call it that. The Military Pitbull Project's got those Icebreaker parades. Get some popcorn. Go witness. And yes, if you've gone to UC Icebreaker, been a part of that immense opportunity that building the Christ complex is, and you've met one of those scrawny impersonators and folks volunteering for those long, hell of a long-term pain before the horned one gets them. If you've seen that, been turned away, or just got tired of seeing the different ones doing that, said you're not going to buy too many gnats around the one and only. It's worth that second attempt. It's worth that 1,000th attempt to be in on the ground floor of the Christ complex. Come see me. Do that. And get those double whirlies hanging. Those, don't worry, there's plenty of replacements. It's fiction, guys. I told you at the beginning of this parable where the fact is. It's attention getting stuff, get you to pick up that phone from that military base and call me. Make a simplified video of folks endangering the rest of us with that hijacking of America's lifelines. That's fact stuff, guys. None of my Stephen King, King Kong climbing up skyscraper stuff. This is fact stuff. Call 424-229-4140. Make a video of your hijack call. John Milton Brady. Tell your friends, tell your family, call in front of the mayor, governor, reporters, network news anchors. And yeah, you can call in front of good folks too. Firemen, police, paramedics. That's your lifeline to them. That's being hijacked very openly, very blatantly. Make that call in front of them. Give them an opportunity to see America's hijacked lifeline. Get their reactions for that as well. To pass along at church, at work, at school, at their military base. And yeah, I've been telling you lately to do this, and it's a good idea to do this. Lori Ann Brady Bond, Samuel Lynn Bond. Fact stuff here. Can reach me by phone. My sister and brother-in-law. Your phone can't work, call me in front of them. 424-229-4140. Ask, how do you reach that man? When I want to hire him as a graphic artist, I want to tell him what I think of his imagery gist. I want to tell him what I think of his parable. I want to tell him what I think about Jesus' house, Christ complex. I want to tell him what I believe. I can't reach him. That's my family's lifeline to the firemen, the police, paramedics being hijacked. Are you taking part in that? Mr. and Mrs. Bond, are you taking part in that? You give them an opportunity. Because the ones I hear from every once in a while, sure the hell aren't talking about America's dangerously hijacked phone. My livelihood being hijacked. But yeah, that's your family's lifeline. You call me 424-229-4140, can't reach me. Don't know when else your phone won't be allowed to work. Yeah, that's your family's lifeline. The firemen, police, paramedics. Get their reaction. Put it on your simplified DVDs, your flash drives, to pass along at church, at work, at school, at that military base. Come see me in person. That's a way around religious censorship. You see someone other than me, my changing eyes right here in my imagery. And the folks around me, or not even around me, have all across the country, are taking personal part in that. Oh, everything's fine. We can reach me by phone. There's nothing up. Get them on video. Taking part in the censorship of your family's lifeline. Pass it along at church, at work, at school. That's the fact part of this. I keep reiterating that. Also, City of Santa Monica. I came out here homeless. Living in the Salvation Army in Monroe, Louisiana. And things started turning around a little bit. Finally started getting jobs or paid more than the minimum wage. The minimum wage wasn't much in Louisiana. Through a temp place, nice lady at the Salvation Army was looking for a place to actually live at. And yeah, my sis showed up and nice enough, took me down Lake Charles and got me a bus ticket out here. The weather's a whole lot better out here. And I should be able to meet a whole lot of girls to, models, actresses, wannabe models and actresses to be in this imagery. Be a part of building Jesus' house, Christ complex. But yeah, that's a problem because a whole lot of folks being in the way. But yeah, I came out here, saw Santa Monica advertising for homeless folks. All those programs, all those places to live. And yeah, worked for the city of Santa Monica from 2007, 2014 when these wounds put me in the wheelchair, put me in the hospital, had them all my life, different sets of them. When they put me in that hospital, 2014, June 2014. Worked until then for the city of Santa Monica, California, and yeah, wore my imagery. Not this one, but all kinds of stuff like it. Telling you to call me, that kind of stuff. Had it on my cap, had it on my shirt. Ask these City of Santa Monica officials when you call me in front of them, 424-229-4140. How do you reach that man? Is it your policy to take part in religious censorship in America? Managed censorship of our phones. Is it your policy to do that? And yeah, get their reactions. And yeah, I'm waiting on the assisted living waiver, folks. After you've been in the hospital 3 months, they get you a nice place to stay, help you get back into the community. It's a California thing. It's a California department. They can reach me by phone. Libertana can reach me by phone. And they're dragging their feet, so yeah, they can come in and interrupt a meal here. Just recently, I had to roll out to get my food. Taunt in that very personal way that inspired the factual part of this parable. Back to the mean part, yeah. Look for those melting icebreaker, stone cold melting icebreaker parades, and girls walk through those fictional screams and hold me tight till they die away, and let's start building. I got news for you, it's not going to get better. Any of you on the streets, and I hear a lot of them bitching lately about how that easy money's coming to an end. What, yeah, our little Jeffrey here. And they don't like it and all that. Simple concept. You see someone other than me with changing eyes right here? A whole lot of things, positive, are going to happen. Don't let those being on their way in the parade. Don't let them drag you to where they're going. Semper Fi. Make those calls from those military bases. Tell your friends, tell your family, come see me in person, and look for a whole lot of folks even in your own circles to bullshit you until you literally put good-looking girls there building the Christ complex with that handsome bald guy.